My parents let a stranger sleep in my dead brother's bed and wear his clothes, saying it was time to move on. You know how some people say grief makes you do crazy things? Well, my parents didn't just go crazy. They replaced my dead brother. Like he was a broken toy and invited a monster into our home. God, it's still hard to even talk about this. My brother Arthur died in a car accident just 6 months ago, and my parents, they just replaced him. Like he was a broken appliance they could swap out for a newer model. They met Harley at grief counseling. He gave this tearful speech about losing his own parents in the exact same intersection that claimed Arthur. Same age, different outcome. My mom kept calling it fate, her voice thick with hope, while my dad just nodded desperately. He was so broken, he would have adopted anyone who could fill that Arthur-shaped hole in our house. The social worker fast-tracked everything because Harley's distant relatives were practically eager to dump the responsibility. And within 3 short weeks, this complete stranger was sleeping in Arthur's bed, wearing his clothes, while my parents acted like they'd won the parenting lottery. It felt like they were systematically erasing Arthur, brick by painful brick. I watched them pack up his music awards, making room for Harley's honor roll certificates. And if I dared to mention Arthur at dinner, they'd immediately pivot to Harley's college prospects or academic achievements. So I started hoarding Arthur's guitar picks and demo recordings in my room. They were becoming the only proof my brother ever existed. But here's what truly made me physically sick to my stomach. Harley was everything my parents wished Arthur had been. Polite, where Arthur was wonderfully sarcastic. A straight A student, where Arthur was a garage band dropout with a D average. They bought Harley designer clothes, while Arthur had lived his entire life in thrift store finds. The favoritism was so blatant, it didn't feel like a subtle preference. It felt like a deliberate, open-handed slap to my face every single day. But Harley wasn't the perfect angel he pretended to be. I started catching him studying our family photos with this weird calculating intensity. He'd ask oddly specific questions about the accident. What hospital? Exact time of impact? Which lane was Dad driving in? It was creepy. The breaking point came when Arthur's old band invited me to perform one of his original songs at a memorial concert. Of course, it was the same night as Harley's academic banquet. When I practically begged my parents to skip the banquet for once, just once, Mom said we needed to focus on living children now. Dad agreed, saying Harley deserved recognition, and with a dismissive wave, Arthur never took school seriously. Anyway, my blood ran cold. That night, I found Harley sitting in my room, casually flipping through Arthur's songwriting journals, the ones I'd hidden in my full story video added in below.